Hey everybody, I'm going to give you a quick presentation here on Mediashout 7, what you need to know, how to edit slides, add content, do that sort of thing. So we're going to start off and open this up from our desktop. You'll notice on your computers that it's also pinned down to the taskbar. This is showing us which files are most recent. It will always show this in chronological order, so the newest one will always be at the very top left position here. So if I want to, I can just open up this one. I'll just double click on that, or you could hit open selected in the bottom corner. Once we're in here, it looks a little bit different than it used to. You've got all your slides down along the left side. That's pretty normal. You can click through things here. You don't have the bar across the bottom to go through. So this is where your slides are. Notice on this chorus that there's an issue with this. We need to come in here and fix this slide because it doesn't have a space here. So we're just going to come in, and if you noticed, I just double clicked on the text like I would have before, and I just hit enter there. Now I kind of realize that maybe this is too much on this slide, so I want to right click and do a page break. Right. All of that stuff is working exactly like it did in the past. Nothing new there. You know, be able to flip through, and as you can see, it's pretty responsive to be able to get through here. The biggest difference is our templates don't add like our CCLI information on the last slide. In order to do that, you'll notice we have these layers. So I selected the last slide here. All I need to do is hit this show or the eyeball, so don't hide it, and then that shows up on whatever slide I might want to have that on. Other things that you might want to do is you might be wondering, well, you've got an image on there, how do I switch my templates? Notice at the bottom of the page here there is a templates. You hit that up arrow. I have narrowed it down to the ones that we will use. For now, these are the 3 that I have in there, so if I want to switch this over to a black, I can just double click that big black, or the big bold black 30 gray, whatever. Or if I wanted to switch to my cross one, we can switch to that one. So it's pretty, I do not want to delete. We'll just double click on that and away we go. Right. So now you notice that updated all of the slides, kept that other one the way we wanted it. If you needed to do something special, you wanted to have a background in for a particular Sunday, simply hit the background button on the right side here under the layers tab, and we can change the background color of the slide. So if you wanted to change this to blue or green or something, or you can come under this image video, select, and if we go under this My Shout folder, there's a shoutable library in here. For New Eva Esperanza, this is actually under the media folder instead, because I got rid of the shoutable library. I might do that on our other computers too. But anyways, there's background media, so you can see different backgrounds for different stuff in here. There's a graphics folder with different backgrounds. So I could grab something, say I want these chains, I could throw that in there, but maybe it's too bright. I can dim that background down so it's just a pale background. We can scale that to fit or stretch it to fit, whichever. And we can change those to a grayscale or a sepia. And if it's too much, you can actually do a blur on it, so it kind of blurs it out, which I think is kind of nice, and I did that on the Bible verses. So if I wanted to, I could save changes on that, and boom, that song has that new slide, but it is not saved back to this template. So if I'd want to save this as a template, now I could just hit save as and say chains. Right. And now I have a new template with chains in it. I could make that a favorite or not make that a favorite, or I can delete that template altogether. So pretty straightforward there. Yeah. If I want to add a cue, there's a blank page up here. That's pretty standard on how we had blank cues in the past. So we can drag and drop those, move them around inside of our script. That's where collapsing these is pretty nice, because then you can get things around. I do have a feature request in with them to make that back like it used to be, so you could shrink it down to just the titles. They are working on doing some things with comments and things like that, but right now you can add comments to your slides. So, you know, I could say, right, turn up lights for sermon. I could throw that as a note on that song, right, or that slide. Downside is it disappears once you're doing that. So that side of it's pretty straightforward. Yep, so we've got blank slide. We added one of those add lyrics. You can click that. Simply type in the search for whatever you're looking for. So if I say elevation worship, okay, well, elevation worship came up with these songs in my library. That wasn't what I was looking for, so I can hit delete on that, hit enter. It'll show me that I have my 3,500 songs almost in our library. This 10,000 Reasons is maybe the song by Elevation Worship I was looking for. Maybe it's not. Maybe I didn't have the song I was looking for. At that point, just drop down where you want to search, and we can do song select. You can use English or Spanish versions in here, so just type in the name of the song in whatever language that you're actually wanting to do it. I did look, and there are a dozen or two different languages that Song Select actually has songs in, including Spanish, German, French, Dutch, etc. So go ahead and type something like Elevation Worship again, and oh, here, this is a song that I'd like to have, so here again, and I just hit this download icon right here. That quickly downloads it, doesn't take very long, and then go ahead and click the folder, and once it changes the folder, now you can see this is the song that came over from them. If you want to, you can actually hit the edit tab here and make changes in those. Just double click into your slides, make those changes. You can put page breaks and stuff in at this point, so that when you insert this, it will actually have a page break. You can actually change your theming just by double clicking the theme, and you run through your whole song, or your whole queue. Just find the song, insert, find the next song, insert. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to save this. This is going to say, hey, you had it in your library with the big bold, now you're switching to this. I don't want to save that way. So and so here we go. We've got this one in here two different ways, right? Same song, two different types of slides. Go to the last, this bridge, right? That's the one I had that page break in. So pretty straightforward and simple. We can go on that second slide, or that last slide, and enable our credits. Notice that I'd have to do that for every song, but that's not really a big deal either. So only other things in here that we need to be aware of are things like the viewers. If you have your viewers here, this will actually show you what's coming up or what is fired. So if I would go into this 10,000 Reasons song, and now it's showing what's currently on our front display, what's coming up next. Stage display, we'll talk about those later on. Yeah, inserting Bible verses works pretty much just like lyrics. Brings up the same type of editor, other than you can pick whichever Bible. There is a whole plethora of Bibles in here in multiple languages as well. Simply just pick your book. So if I pick Judges 5, and then you can pick the verses that you want. You know, so if you only wanted a couple of verses, you can do that. This show verse number, in this particular one, it puts that at the bottom. Or actually, sorry, the verse number is at the beginning, and the reference number is, or the reference is at the bottom. So if we go ahead, we can also switch to a different template if we wanted, but go ahead and insert, and away we go. We now have Judges 5, 4 and 5, 8 and 9, and 14 and 16. So as we go through those are in here, and away we go. like nothing to it to get some Bible verses in. We can basically flip through slides just like we used to. So if I'd go up to the top and run down from the top, we'll just make this where you can actually see. So as we flip through the slides, whoops, now you can actually see that what's going up on the main screen there is in the top right corner of your screen. But we're just running through, and we can run through that song into our verses, down through our verses, into our next song, into our next song, into some verses, and I'm just hitting my space bar and away we go. And then it wrapped it around and started back at the top. So just have to be aware of that, make sure that we actually have blacks or blanks where we need them, that sort of thing. And other than that, yeah, the only other type of slide that you can insert is a text slide. So if we create a text slide, it's really just here, so you could put whatever you might want, and then be able to fire that. So, but that's pretty straightforward and easy. If you do have things in here the way you want them and you want to make sure nobody goofs them up, you can lock those layers in place. Once you lock those layers, you can't make changes to them, but you can just simply come and unlock them too. That really just makes it where, oops, I didn't mean to move it, right? Now we can do that. Another good way to do that is when you get everything set up the way that you want it and you're ready for your morning service, come up here and just hit this presenter view, and presenter view will put this into a viewer similar to what we had before, minus the upper viewer. So then we click our viewers over here, and you'll notice that we've got the red outline is going to follow along with what we're actually presenting, and away we go, right? So you can scroll through your whole script here and see all of your slides. There is a slider here, so if you want to make those bigger or smaller, you can make those bigger or smaller. You can also switch them into a list view, so you can see where you're at. I personally like to be able to see my slides, not the list, just because I can look and try to find where I need to be a little bit quicker. So hopefully that gives everybody a good idea on how this all works, and I'll do a couple more videos here on different functions and features and things like this, but this gets you to where you need to be able to do a Sunday morning. Thanks for sticking with me, and let me know if you've got any issues or things that we need to work on or things like that.